All right, today we're looking at a pretty radical new vision for India's retail economy. The big idea here? It's not about building more stores. Nope. It's about making the ones we already have way, way smarter. Let's dive in.
So get this, the whole model kicks off with this really provocative statement. I mean, think about it. We see these billion-dollar quick commerce companies popping up everywhere, right? Racing to build dark stores on every single corner. But this idea says they've completely missed the point. So if building new stores isn't the answer, then what is?
Well, the thing is, the answer is already right in front of us. It's been there all along. We're talking about an army, literally an army of 13 million local Kirana stores. These shops are the absolute backbone of commerce in pretty much every neighborhood across the country. They don't need to be replaced. They just need the right tools.
So you see, the real problem isn't that we don't have enough places to shop. Not at all. It's that this huge existing network, it's basically invisible in the digital world. It's disconnected. So the challenge isn't to build more, it's to connect what's already there and make it smart.
And that right there is where this idea of a Kirana OS comes into play. Now, don't just think of this as another app you download. No. The vision here is for a full-blown operating system, something designed to bring these millions of stores online and really empower them. And it all happens in 3 clear sequential phases.
So here's the game plan. It's a 3-step process. First, you build a simple software foundation. Then, you use all the data that software collects to create a massive distribution engine. And finally, you leverage all of that to create a super profitable credit multiplier. Let's break down exactly how each phase works, one by one.
Okay, so phase 1. You got to think of this as the bedrock, the absolute foundation for the entire system. This is the front door for every Kirana store owner. And you know what its biggest strength is? It's just simple.
So here's the deal they're offered. It's software only. For about 30 rupees a day, that's less than a cup of chai, a store owner gets this incredibly powerful software toolkit. And here's the most critical part: 0 commissions. This is a huge deal. It's not about taking a cut of their sales. It's about giving them a tool that adds value from day one.
And what do they get for that tiny fee? Well, they get the whole shebang. A digital storefront so local customers can actually find them online. They get smart alerts, things that tell them, hey, you're running low on milk, or these biscuits are flying off the shelves. It can even warn them about products that are just sitting there gathering dust. It's basically about taking that gut feeling a shop owner has and backing it up with hard data.
And this is where it gets really clever. The genius of this is that it's a win-win. It solves problems on both sides of the counter. The Kirana owner gets a powerful tool to run their business better, and the customer, they get something they've never really had before: the ability to see in real time exactly what's in stock at their trusted local shop.
And that's really the magic of this first phase, isn't it? For you, the customer, it's not some faceless, anonymous dark store. It's your neighborhood shop, the one you already know, the one you already trust. Now, it just happens to have all the convenience of a modern digital app.
All right, so once you have that foundation, we move to phase 2. And this is where things start to get really big. Because once you have thousands of stores using this software every single day, managing their inventory, tracking their sales, you start to create something incredibly valuable. And that thing is data.
See, the OS isn't just a dumb terminal taking orders. It's learning, it's watching. It sees exactly how fast every single product sells. It knows which brands are popular in which specific neighborhood. It can predict when a store is about to run out of something. What you end up with is this unprecedented real-time map of how India shops.
And with that kind of data, Kirana OS can evolve. It can transform from just being a software provider to becoming the main distributor for these stores. I mean, it can use its insights to perfectly time their deliveries, to make sure they're always stocked with what sells. And the numbers here are just staggering. By supplying just 10,000 Kiranas, the potential GMV could hit 6,000 crore rupees a year.
Now, to put that number into perspective, just think about that for a second. The B2B opportunity here, just from supplying the stores themselves, is potentially bigger, much bigger, than the entire consumer-facing business of most of those quick commerce companies we talked about.
But hold on, because it doesn't even stop there. We've got the software, we've got the distribution engine humming along, and now the system unlocks its final and most profitable layer: credit. And this right here is where that data becomes a legitimate superpower.
Think about it. A traditional bank, when it looks at a small Kirana store, is basically flying blind. It has almost zero visibility into the real financial health of that business. But Kirana Os, it sees everything. It knows the exact profit margin on a bar of soap compared to a bag of rice. It sees the daily cash flow, the reordering patterns. It understands the very pulse of the business.
So what this does is it completely transforms lending. It takes it from being high-risk guesswork to being a precise, data-backed science. Suddenly, loans aren't just secured by a handshake and a promise. They're backed by cold, hard facts. The store's actual inventory, its sales behavior, its real cash flow data.
What you end up with is a lending system that's just fundamentally better. It can get essential working capital into the hands of these small businesses faster, more safely, and with way less risk than any traditional lender could ever hope to.
Okay, so let's pull it all together. We've seen the 3 phases. Now let's look at why this whole integrated approach is so powerful and why it's so perfectly suited for the Indian market.
So, here's the winning formula. You start with cheap software that store owners actually love, because it doesn't take a commission and eat into their margins. That simple fact allows this model to work in places where quick commerce just can't. Then, you layer on that massive B2B distribution opportunity. And finally, you top it all off with data-driven credit, which becomes the ultimate profit engine. It's a complete end-to-end solution.
And all of this leaves us with one final, massive question. We've just walked through how this model builds itself up, from a simple piece of software into a full-blown financial engine. But if it really succeeds, could a single operating system truly transform the entire retail backbone of the nation? We're talking about those 13 million family-run stores. It's a pretty powerful thought to leave you with.